Welcome back to study section 5 on HMP 301 Ruminant Animal Production. I will be taking you through a quick tour on the topic housing and equipment in ruminant production. Housing is an integral part of management, hence, it is of great importance in cattle, sheep, and goat production. Housing must be well planned with adequate ventilation and sanitation facilities to enhance production both in beef and dairy cattle. So the housing type depends on the system of production. At the end of this study section, you should be able to discuss housing requirements for cattle production, discuss housing requirements for sheep and goats production, and lastly, you should be able to explain some of the equipment used in ruminant production. Let's discuss this learning outcome one after the other. To start a cattle production venture, adequate consideration must be given to how the animals will be housed for better management in a better environment and to prevent theft. The following points must be considered while designing a house for a cattle. The first one is the building must be sited on a well-drained and not undulating floor. Secondly, there must be a proper and adequate ventilation and illumination in the building. Thirdly, there must be no drought or condensation in the building. And fourthly, the building must be well positioned for feeders and drinkers. And lastly, the building must be easily accessible. So housing for intensive system, we have different types of housing for cattle production. We have intensive system and extensive system. So housing for intensive system of cattle production, under that, cattle are housed in a well shaded open sided structure which is being called barns or cattle shed. This type of housing is common in the intensive type of production. The size of the barn depends on the number of cattle expected to be housed. So the house must be well equipped with feeders and water troughs with adequate space for farm operations to take place. The floor of the barn is always concrete with rough surface to prevent skidding or falling of the cattle. The construction of the house must have feeding passage with well-fitted mangers around the standing areas. Drains must be constructed for easy washing, cleaning, and evacuation of dung and other waste materials. So housing for extensive system of cattle production. Here, there is no standard for the housing type for this type of system of production. One of them is being called cattle cray, which is an enclosure in an open field or land where the animals are tied to pegs already installed. The walls of the cray could be made of planks or wood, bamboo, muddy blocks or stones. So the animals are always housed here after the day's grazing. The main consideration for housing for sheep and goats in this part of the world is to provide sufficient protection from unfavorable weather. So the essential consideration is that the environment must be cool, it must be dry, and it also must be free from droughts with access to pasture or outside all the time. So housing type for sheep and goats under intensive or semi-intensive system is that the entire house is well roofed with windows to protect the animals during the winter season in the temperate region. In summer, they have access to pasture. This type of production requires a lot of sophistication in the housing construction and it is very, very expensive. So housing type for extensive or traditional system of sheep and goats. In this type of production, which is very common, it has a simple open shed which is made up of cheap roofing material. Provide the expected protection. In most cases, The floor is being rammed and well drained. The following equipment are used in ruminant animal production. We have the weighing scale, bulldozer castrator, we have the ear tag forceps, and we have the elastrator. Weighing scale. This is used to know the weight of the animal, and there are different types. We have the working type for the animal, both young and adult depending on their capacity. The second one is bulldozer castrator. This is used to castrate unwanted males on the farm. Castration is the act of making a male animal impotent by open or surgical removal of its scrotum, elasters. It is a bodiless castrator that is used in the ringing method. Ear tag forceps. This is used for fixing ear tag to the ear of the animal for identification. Nipple feeders. This is being used in feeding young cattle with milk replacers. Drenching gun. This is made up of a long tube or rubber hose long enough to enter the mouth of the ruminants. And also we have the body. This is the art of removing the horn at its budding stage in cattle, sheep and goats. Most breeds of these animals carry horn, which when fully grown may become source of injury to the other animals in flock or herd. Castration. Castration is the art of removing the testicles of a male animal to render them ineffective. This operation is carried out on all unwanted animals in ruminant production. I hope you've learned one or two things from this video section. Kindly read more on your study materials for more understanding or explanation. Join me for the next study section. Thank you for listening.